Well, hello, everybody. My name is Perry. I'm one of the pastors here, and we are going to be doing a post show where we discuss all the different things about the message and the service. And to get things started off, though, I'd like to introduce the folks who are here. What's your name? He forgot.
I wasn't prepared for this type of question. My name is Matthew Stephen Tate.
All right, and
My name is Elizabeth Mora Brubaker.
I don't want to say my middle name.
You have to now.
Yep. Peer
I
pressure.
didn't say my first name, so you're good.
I'll say it. Don't judge me. It's my mom's fault. Layla Clary Wagner. It's Irish.
Clary.
Okay, your turn.
I don't mind that. Anyway,
Thanks.
what's the highlight of today's service for you guys? What stood out? What was the best part? What was the most fun?
Man, I was so comfy talking about politics.
Yes, White Perry Hospital.
Best part ever.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
so
your favorite?
excited to go through these questions today. No, just mild sarcasm there. I am going to choose worship. I liked our worship lineup today. And I felt like it was, I don't know, my favorite song, Gratitude. That's
There we
top
go.
favorite.
So that one
That was
always
sang
lands.
today.
That's
Yep.
Matt's favorite too.
That's a lie. This is
a
a
lie?
church and you're lying.
I also was being sarcastic. Matt, since gratitude isn't your favorite song, what was your highlight of today's message?
Highlight of today's message.
Or not message, the service.
I mean, just the big header of shoot, now I'm forgetting how he phrased it. Don't be political be politically active, don't be a political activist because it is damaging. Because I mean my generation is full of political activists and I watched them get damaged.
Yeah. Unlike Layla, I actually really, the highlight for me was the message. I don't know. I think this is something that we as Christians need to hear. It does seem like more and more Christians are putting their faith in politics over their faith and trust in God. So I'm excited about our conversation today. Elizabeth, what was your highlight?
I roam around church taking pictures and seeing all the things. And there are so many kids in CK2 right now. It was so fun going in there and seeing the just kind of hot mess express that was going on in the best way. It was so fun and very chaotic.
There are a lot of them in there during second
There are a
service.
lot.
I
So
bet those volunteers would probably say the same thing that you just said. The volunteers for CK2.
Yeah, that it was chaotic and a lot.
And
But
that,
it
that was their
fun.
favorite
our
part.
regular volunteer in there, Kathy Thornburg, loves it.
Oh, yeah.
my
She's
gosh.
all about
And
it.
she was in there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Super quick, funny story. There was this one time I was in there and they were all being crazy. And then this one little girl who never says anything, she goes, you know what my teacher does? She says chicka chicka and then we say boom boom and that means we have to be quiet. And so now every time I go in there, at least once, Kathy goes chicka chicka and they all yell boom boom. So this turned into a thing.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
So now they are all in there. Boom boom.
We might have to try that at the youth group. Think the students will get into that?
Only if
Probably a
Kathy is
little too
there.
much.
You should give it a try.
Well, okay. Well, I think that's a great highlight too, but we're going to jump into discussing the message now. And they're very open-ended questions. Are there any tensions in today's message that you are struggling with as we sit here and think about it? Because this is a controversial topic.
Sure.
And if so,
Yeah.
what?
I think going through today's message, I thought a lot about, I've kind of seen this come up a little bit in the workplace, at my place of employment, where there's been just under the rug type of comments on in passing, why, people surprised that other people with differentiating views, there hasn't been more turmoil. And I think there's a lot of things that people don't say but feel, and I feel like in the workplace, everywhere, there are a lot of feelings that aren't openly discussed. I also think there are a lot of feelings that are openly discussed on social media or face-to-face conversations. I feel like I'm kind of one of those people personally because I am so uncomfortable with talking about anything politic related. I have a lot of feelings. And so that was just resonating with me a little bit throughout Dave's message is that I feel things. Am I going to tell you about them? I hope I don't have to say anything about my feelings today in the post show. But you know what I mean? Like there's, I think everybody is, it's so quick to acknowledge those being vocal and expressing how they feel or what's right or what's wrong. I think that, or at least I wonder if there are a lot of other people like me who feel things, have opinions. I'm not going to say one of them out loud because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I just don't want to engage in that type of conversation. I will hear other people's thoughts.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of reasons behind it. But number one is that it is like one of the most uncomfortable things for me.
Absolutely. Oh, we live in such a politically polarized world right now that if you voice your opinion about anything, you are automatically probably going to offend
Absolutely.
someone.
Yep.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard too because, the way a democracy works and the reason why free speech is so important is because if you don't talk about it, then how do we sharpen ideas and how do we actually hear reasoning and how do we understand these issues that can be really confusing, but then you're just kind of afraid to talk about them sometimes because like you said, like I don't want to push this person away or hurt their feelings or cause a problem or yeah, it's tough.
It's hard to feel safe engaging in any type of political conversation, in my opinion.
Sure.
I rarely feel like my thoughts and opinions will be respected or that the other person will feel that I am respecting their thoughts and opinions.
Yeah. And that's sad too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But I mean, if I think about it, I definitely feel like it's more tense now, but even when I was younger, same.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't remember when I was young. I know people talked about politics some and that was a thing, but it just didn't seem to be as hot button, but also almost like people just chose not to talk about it as much. Maybe. And maybe that's just because I was younger too.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But what about you guys? Do you guys have any tensions that you felt in today's message?
Not particularly. I'd say less of a tension, more of a like. I see people in my brain that is like he's definitely speaking to these people, and I can picture their faces, and I'm like, I feel really sad for them because this is like their whole identity, and if you say something of the other opinion, they feel devalued as a human, and that's really sad. Also, I don't think political discussion should be had online at all. I think it's silly, and I think the pot boils over too fast. I think that's like if we're gonna have political discussion, discourse, whatever, it should probably be face to face, because it's easier to boil over online.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those are my feelings. Like I just want everyone to have the hope in Christ that I have and feel what that feels like.
Yeah. What about you, Elizabeth? Anything? Any tensions?
I don't think there were any, for me, it was more so, it felt more validating to me. Not in a, I am great at all of this, because I struggle with thinking in the, kingdom mindset sometimes because I get so wrapped up in things. Social media is scary if you get on the, political side of it. Because it's just, it can be so hateful, and it can seem so just what is real and what is not and what is whatever. So it felt more validating to me to be okay, this isn't my focus, and it never has been, and I'm not honestly very interested in it. I know I should be slightly more interested in it now that I can vote, but it's just it's just not something that interests me. And so then to just be okay, that's not where my focus is even supposed to be, solely. So like to me it was like, okay, like you're okay. Maybe do more research because you should. But like
Yeah.
to be just like, okay, like this is just something that our world is really like struggling with right now, and to have Dave talk about it in a way of like, yes, it's real, yes, it's there, yes, you should care, but when it becomes more than that, then it's like a not good thing.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't feel any like tension other than I was like, are people gonna get angry? What's gonna happen?
Yeah. Because whenever a church talks about anything related to politics, people automatically are on the defensive. And it's interesting, right? Matt, you brought something up that was one of the tensions I felt. I think most people who heard this message probably thought of other people that they know struggle with this. I wonder how we can analyze ourselves to identify some of these issues within us better. Because I have a feeling that this message will be very much those people over there, they struggle with this.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to ask that question, even though it wasn't a planned question. How can we, in this area, make sure that we aren't getting our priorities out of whack?
I would, it's really hard to be objective about yourself, but if you're able to at least monitor, like, and take note of, man, a lot of my time is taken up by thought or consuming of this political thing, and like 1 to 2% of my day is about Jesus, then like we've got some priority issues to work on. Granted, I've had a lot of time to sit and think in my life and self-analyze, so I've gotten decent at analyzing myself. Granted, I miss the forest for the trees all the time too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm saying granted a lot.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Analyzing yourself is hard. What about you ladies? What do you think?
I guess the first thing that comes to mind for me is being mindful of how I'm feeling, or maybe that's advice for other people. Like as soon as you start to have maybe negative feelings when engaging in some type of political conversation or situation, that could be a measure of, like keeping yourself in check. I don't know how good of an answer that is because I'm not.
What do you mean by that? Like when you say feelings about other people, what do you mean by that?
I think just feeling like as you are internally feeling things. So again, I'm trying to think about how, I don't know how else to apply this outside of first thinking about what I would apply to myself. And I think if I'm going through any type of political situation, if I start to feel anger or hurt feelings and I'm losing the grounding context of the things that Dave talked about today, that would be like my first flag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's a really good point, because I've definitely had conversations with people where I come away and I feel like I just got hit by a truck, or my stomach is upset, or I've changed my opinion on that person because of what they just said. Yeah.
It's like the emotional side of things are taking over, and then maybe my logical pieces are dissolving. I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Well, I have a probing question for this.
Yay.
Be politically involved, but kingdom passionate. How can we do this more effectively? So in some ways, I'm asking the same question, but a little bit different spin on it and looking maybe for a little bit more detail. How can we be politically involved, but kingdom passionate?
Well, as I look through the listing of the 5 things that Dave covered today for each of those categorizations, like I think for me personally, like when he was talking about vote values, because politics is my least favorite thing in the world, I know that I have a lot of opportunity to educate myself on different things that I can vote for. I just voted for the first time ever this past election.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I have a ton of anxiety, and I'm like, did I vote for the right thing? Right? Like, I think that there's opportunity where I was influenced by hearing other people's opinions, and I didn't spend a lot of time on my own, gathering my own opinions and doing my own research. So that's probably one thing I would say as far as an example personally for me to be politically involved. I appreciate all the things that Dave covered today, though, too. And then I really liked how he highlighted to pray for revival as an example, to be kingdom passionate. I also think that this is something that I can spend more time doing. And I think that I can easily dismiss the power of prayer in this arena in general.
Yeah.
And I will just say, with the recent events that have occurred, I've been very moved by things that I've seen on social media around praying for revival and just revival in general. It's been very motivating for me to want to do similar things.
Yeah. Agreed. I think that oftentimes I've heard people lose this balance, and they put so much faith in the politics. And when you live in any sort of democracy, republic type of situation, those votes reflect your culture, right? So if we look at our country and we say, oh man, there's some things that we're struggling with as a nation, then we might have to look at our culture and be like, well, is this a political issue or is this a spiritual issue? Which is exactly what we talked about last series, right? And in reality, it is a spiritual issue. And so if we want to see those changes really happen, then we need to see that happen spiritually. And so, we need to be praying for that. Elizabeth, do you have to go?
We
We both have to go.
All right. See you guys. Well, Layla, it's just me and you now.
This just went from wonderful to very wonderful.
Awesome. Well, the thing is we, partially because of the time of the other service, we didn't have a ton of time to really dive into this. But, this idea of striking this balance of being politically involved, but kingdom passionate, I think you really highlighted some really great things. And I think Dave gave us some very practical tools so we can look back on that. But I'd really like to hear from all of you out there, because we barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
I know we did. And I know the uncomfortableness. Layla verbalized it so much so. However, if we don't ever talk about these things, we can't have the guidance that Scripture gives us.
Yeah.
And we can't, like you said, educating yourself. Part of that is discussing it with each other. And man, if we could get to a place where we had some people in our lives that might not think exactly the same as us, but we could actually talk about these issues, look at Scripture together, research together, debate, and maybe even disagree in the end.
In a healthy way.
In a very healthy way.
Yep.
That's really, I think, the way it's intended to be. But man, it just feels like we're so far from that. But I do think that that's where having close friends who have similar outlooks on life is so important.
Yeah.
Having good Christian friends who you can trust to actually talk and listen and go through this with us, man, that's so important. That's a big part of who we are as a church. It's what we're trying to create. It's not easy though. But with that said, we're also a church that invites your questions. And I know that this is such a difficult topic for so many of you that are out there. And you're like, I've got questions, but I do not feel comfortable talking to anyone about it. We have a form that is a place where you can submit those questions on our website. Just go there and click the Ask a Question tab and submit it. It's totally anonymous. Nobody knows who you are. They're not going to know if you lean to the left or to the right, or you have a certain particular political opinion. Ask your questions because we would love to be able to answer them in our midweek Q&A on Wednesdays. Now, if you are looking for someone to follow up with you, like let's say maybe Pastor Dave said something that just didn't sit well with you and you want him to personally follow up with you, you're going to want to fill out our Connect card instead, because that actually gives us your personal information and in a way to contact you throughout the week. The other one is totally anonymous, and we'll try to get to those questions as soon as we possibly can on our Wednesday Q&A. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. We look forward to hopefully seeing you again next week, and either here in person or online. We'll see y'all later.